Been a while since I put out a video. I felt that they were getting repetitive, and today I'm glad to be able to have a video that I believe is relevant to the new reality of Corona. This video is about how to see Purim within the perspective of where we are with Corona or COVID. It's very interesting. The miracle of Purim, which we've talked about so many times, is understanding that the miracle of Purim took place over 9 years, and there were many different factors that came together, whether it was the fact that Mordechai told about big son in Seresh, or the fact that Vashti was killed because of Achashverosh, and the story of Esther, all the different factors that came together to tell us about the tremendous miracle that Hashem had done for us on Purim. They're all things we've talked about in previous years. I'd like to deal with and point out a very interesting idea that the first chapter in the Megillah, all the way till maybe even to the second chapter, the 8th verse, where it introduces us to Mordechai, really doesn't have that much to do with the story. It tells us about how wealthy Achashverosh was, how powerful Achashverosh was, but it doesn't really seem to have that much to do with the story. And I'd like to share with you a little historical perspective while you'll understand why it's very extremely fundamental to the story, which is that you have to realize this was after the destruction of the temple. This is after the Jewish people lost their sense of comfort, understanding, awareness of being part of the Jewish nation. Part of the definition of a nation, if you look in a dictionary, is that they have a land. The Jews lost their land in Israel. Here they are in Shushan, and they don't feel the sense of awe and uniqueness of God because they were thrown out of their land. How strong is their God if they were thrown out of the land? And comes along Achashverosh. And Achashverosh says, come, I want to invite everybody to my great party. As the Vilna Gaon explains, Achashverosh wanted to convince all his subjects that he was a man of such great wealth and power that it was worthwhile to side with him. We know, generally, whether your name is Michael Bloomberg, or your name is Achashverosh, or your name is Bill Gates, or your name is Jeff Bezos, people tend to trust and look and try to understand what the wealthy person does. Achashverosh had the audacity to come to the party wearing the clothing of the Kohen Gadol, the unique garments that the Kohen Gadol, the high priest, wore in the temple, sending the message to the Jewish people that look where the wealth is, look where your future lies, look in whom you can trust, who can believe. This was the mistake that the Jews made. This is where they started going down the wrong path. When they went to the party of Achashverosh, and they began to see that their power does not lie with being part of the Jewish people, but it lies with Achashverosh and his wealth. And Haman, when he wants to destroy the Jewish people, says, Am echad mefuzar mufura ben agoyim. Achashverosh, you have successfully separated the Jews. You segregate them. They now see themselves as one of the nations amongst all the nations of the world. They don't see themselves as a unique people. And what was Esthers' answer? When Mordechai pushes Esther in the corner and says she has to be willing to go and talk to Achashverosh, she says only 3 words, Leich kenos es kol haYehudim. Go and gather all the Jews together. Bring them together. Bring them to be aware that through the unity of being part of the Jewish people is what will protect them. Understanding and appreciating that it is their unique connection to Judaism and the Jewish people that protects them. And this is the message of Purim. That we have 2 big messages. One, we read the Megillah to realize how special and unique and involved Hashem is in our existence. He is there protecting us. Even in the most dire times, whether it was in Achashverosh or in the Holocaust, he's there. And out of that will come the great Talmud and the great establishment of the state of Israel. But that only happens when we understand that we have to take care of our poor, we take care of and send gifts to our friends, we solidify the sense of community, and then we have a Purim meal with people. Till now, when everybody listened and we properly followed the advice of the rabbis, and last year, Pesach, we stayed home where appropriate, because it was unclear what the whole understanding how to deal with COVID. Now, a year later, it's time to rethink all those decisions. Those of us who have been merited having 2 shots already, as I have, thank God, should be rethinking their question of how often they come to shul and how they come to shul and whether they in what ways they join. But we have to now think not anymore about how to segregate ourselves, but how to distance ourselves. Now is the time, as we enter this Purim holiday, to rethink how I can once more unify myself to the Jewish people. Be it with Sheni Ashalach Manos, being with giving gifts to the poor, being it with showing up to shul on Shabbos. There's no reason to delay. If you received 2 shots and you waited the proper time, in our shul we properly social distance. There is no reason not to go and ask your doctor if it's not time for you to rethink that question. Thank you. Everybody should have a beautiful, uplifting Purim, and we shall all merit soon to be able to be together and be able to hold hands and dance together. Freilichem Purim.